Man, spoiler. I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it a lot. And I will give you my unfiltered review. And I watched it yesterday. And we talked about it on an Epicverse stream. And I had a little more time to sort of let it marinate. And I do want to say that the movie was a major letdown. The movie was a major letdown. Now, here's the thing though, given all of the, I guess you would say clips and trailers and scenes and whatever marketing material I've seen, I didn't see all of it, but I've seen most of it. I did not like it. So I already have some sort of confirmation bias when I started to look at non-spoiler reviews, like Tyrone Magnus, like what's a Film Threat, like Jeremy Johns. Like I started doing that, and then I'm like, man, I'm gonna go into it with with low expectations. Hopefully I get blown away. It's because I do have a lot of friends and people that I trust within our community, the content creator community, that did like it. Yellow Flash really liked it. Tom Connors Jr. from Midnight's Edge liked it. We have Side Scrollers, a Stuttering Craig liked it. Yellow Flash liked it. We had Smash JT liked it. Kada liked it. So there's a lot of people in my sphere that liked it, but there are a lot of other people that I know that didn't. So I'm like, all right, it's a mixed bag. I'm gonna go into it. I'm gonna go in with low expectations, as long as it's better than some of the Marvel stuff, right? And the thing is, you can't really compare because they're apple to orange, but the thing is that they're both superhero movies, so I'm gonna compare them. So I didn't like this movie at all. Now, given the fact that we had a great cast, there's a lot of really good people that are in this movie. Nathan Fillion plays a good Guy Gardner. We have, you already said Yellow Flash? Look, I like the color yellow, all right? I like yellow. Give me a break, all right? That's a surprising amount of people. Yeah, and also, what's it called again? A Valiant Renegade liked it too, so that's another one. But going into it, I'm like, man, there are a lot of really good things, right? I think David Corenswet looks great as Superman and Clark. Well, his little hair sort of looks a little odd, but you don't see his little weird, like curly cues, freaking like a freaking wig looking thing. You don't see too much of it because he's not. Most of the time, he's not Clark. Most of the time, he's actually Superman. So I think Rachel Brosnahan, I think it's her name, played a good, what's it called again? Lois Lane. And I think his name is Nicholas Hoult, right? He played a pretty good Lex. My favorite Lex Luthor of all time is probably Michael Rosenbaum. I think Michael Rosenbaum is my favorite Lex of all time, including what's it called again? Gene Hackman and what's it called again? Kevin Spacey. But let's go ahead and talk about what I liked first, okay? Other than the cast, I think this movie is very bright and vibrant. It's completely opposite of what we got from Zack Snyder. Very dark, brooding, sad, I guess you would say sometimes feeling very depressing. This movie, it looks like it's giving out a symbol of hope, right? It looks like the colors are bright, so it's like, oh, this is a completely different. And I think it's sort of they're basically trying to do exactly the opposite of what Zack Snyder did. So but in doing so, James Gunn went too far to the other side. Right? He went too far to the other side while trying to course correct, and he went a little bit too far where this movie sort of became sort of kooky. I think it became sort of silly at some times, and this movie never really gets the opportunity to let the serious moments play out, is because I think James Gunn he just didn't trust the script. He didn't trust his writing. He didn't trust his own I guess capabilities. So everything that is serious, other than several parts, were sort of immediately cut short by crypto, by a joke, by just Marvel humor, which I don't like. I think there's a time and place for it. James Gunn did a really good job in the Guardians movie, so I think that's perfectly fine, right? So, but the thing is with this one, I just feel like he didn't let it, I guess you would say, soak enough, right? You didn't let your script cook, and in doing so, you cut short a lot of the serious moments. Now, another thing is that this movie is exactly how I said it was when I saw that they introduced, I guess, a portion of the Justice Gang or Justice League that's not Justice League, right? You have Guy Gardner, you have Mr. Terrific, and you have Hawk Girl. And adding that in, you also add in a bunch of villains. You're also adding in a bunch of other characters, other players into this movie, which completely overbloated the entire film. It's the same exact thing I said about Batman vs. Superman. However, I think Batman vs. Superman probably did it a little bit better in terms of bloat, is because most of the bloat came in at the end of the movie, right? You see Wonder Woman here and there, right? You have the introduction of Batman, which is, in my opinion, they should have done what Marvel did. You know, I'm not praising Zack Snyder here for BVS, but if I would watch BVS, I can tell you that BVS did a better job in terms of introducing characters, because it's a little bit slower. But of course, ultimately, the Marvel formula is the way to go. But I digress, right? You have Batman, you have Superman. They sprinkle in Wonder Woman. You get Lex Luthor, and then all right, cool. You get a little bit of Alfred, and then near the end, that's when you get like full on Wonder Woman. You get the metahumans of Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, and you get and then you fucking get Doomsday, right? And that's sort of where it got overbloated in terms of just a character. This one is like maybe about 40 minutes into the movie, boom, here's an entire fucking a bunch of people that it just comes in and sort of steals a lot of and takes a lot of attention away from Superman. What they should have done for this movie was allow James Gunn to focus solely on Superman, his personality, his character as Clark, and Lex Luthor, or whatever villain that's cooked up, right? And then you have Daily Planet and Lois Lane. Unfortunately, we don't get that, right? Sounds cluttered? Absolutely. It absolutely sounds cluttered. They added too many things. Now, were there good parts in this movie where I'm like, wow, that's cool? Yes. But none of it came from Superman. And that is a damn shame. And you know why? You're talking about a movie that's named Superman, and the coolest part in the entire movie was done by Mr. Terrific. It was not done by Superman, and even Lois Lane was, holy shit. She was like super like, wow. My pants are super wet right now. What's going on, right? When the big ass kaiju showed up, did you feel represented? To be honest, Lex Luthor had an Asian dude as part of the Lex Goon, so I already felt represented. And one of the Asian dudes actually at the Pentagon, right? So there were several times they had. I would say this film is very diverse in cast, including Asians. Okay. Now I believe one of the bad guys, she's like you could tell like she spoke Spanish. She's like, so she has some kind of like freaking Latin American background or something like that. Now let's go into. I'm gonna go by beat for more to remember. The movie starts off, freaking block of text, 3 centuries ago, freaking 30 years ago, 3 months ago, 3 days ago, 3 hours ago, 3 minutes ago, bro. You're not Star Wars. I didn't go to the theater to read. My eyes are small enough already. I don't need to fucking read shit. I'm there to enjoy the movie. And then you force me to read. And this is all like what happened prior. And this movie felt like it needed, like this movie felt like a part 2, right? Because everything that you read should have been a part 1, but you missed it, right? This is Superman year 3. I get it, right? But the thing is, there's a lot of things that you could have had it on. You could do like a quick flashback, you know, like a Lord of the Rings did. You know, first there were men, and then there were crazy men, and then there were gay men, and then there were lesbian men, and then there was the One Ring, and then there's an Asian. Like they could have done that, but they didn't, right? They just gave you a wall of text. You read this entire thing. Boom! Superman gets his ass beat, gets freaking knocked down into Antarctica or whatever, right next to the Fortress of Solitude, right? He's like, oh, this is the first time in Clark's entire lifetime he got his ass beat. This is the first time he lost. So you're going into the movie seeing that your first vision of Superman is him getting his ass beat. All right, sure. All right, I guess that's fine. We're not sure who the bad guy is. We're not sure what happened. And then he fucking blows the whistle. I'm not gonna whistle because it sounds gay. And then his dog comes. His dog fucking jumps on him. Cool, Crypto's here and stuff like that. Crypto doesn't look like this, right? Crypto doesn't actually look like this in the comics or in the animation, because James Gunn is basically projecting him. Superman is a personification of James Gunn's real life, right? Or whatever movie, right? So his dog, the reason why we get this scruffy looking ugly mutt, you know, I agree with I agree with Lex Luthor. I think this dog is a ugly white dog with a cape. All right, because you could have gotten a white lab. You could have gotten like some kind of cool looking dog, but you got like this little scrap yard dog nobody really cares about. All right, this dog probably should have gotten eaten and then turned into freaking what's it called again? Chop suey or whatever it is, right? So dog jumps on him, he pulls his ass into the freaking Fortress of Solitude, and the Superbots save him. Right? Superbots revitalize him. Oh, we must use the golden yellow shower. We must give him the yellow sun power. You know, don't hate the rhyme, right? Hate the game. So what happened is that he goes, oh, and then was his fractured ribs heal, his burns heal. He's like, all right, I gotta go back now. And he goes back to this country that basically looks like what's it called again? Israel, not Israel. Freaking, it's like. And then he fights this dude like that freaking hammer of dicks. And then it doesn't show you what led up to it. He basically immediately gets his ass beat. He goes back. He gets his ass beat again. He gets his ass beat again. And the person that's beating him is like in this giant like fucking mech armor. Not really mech armor. Sort of looks like a Juggernaut, right? And he starts fighting him, bap, 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 and then freaking what's it called again? Lex Luthor is basically controlling. He's like, all right, for A1 steak sauce, B25, and then F4, and then you make sure you do the C40, and then basically all of these things are like plays, like in football or some shit like that. And then Superman gets his ass beat, and then they're like, oh, during that time, it was it's supposed to be a distraction. That the Hispanic chick shows up. I'm not sure if he's Hispanic or whatever, Puerto Rican or whatever. Muerta. And then she sees the freaking Fortress of Solitude just shrink. And he's like, I found where the Fortress of Solitude is. I found Superman's house. And then he's like, all right, cool. Mission accomplished. Freaking hammer of dicks flies away. And then what's going on? Lex Luthor's like, all right, cool. We're done. And and you find out later on, this guy in the suit was basically Ultraman. So Ultraman, if you guys don't know who he is, Ultraman is like a Superman clone that I believe it's a clone or something like that. That I'm not too sure about the background because I heard multiple stories, but it's basically an evil Superman, not Bizarro, evil Superman. All right, so evil Superman basically is Ultraman, works with Lex Luthor, and it's sort of like, oh, you knew exactly right away. It's like, oh yeah, this if you knew the comics, if you look at a suit, it looks like a U. So afterwards, all right, so we got to distract Superman again. How are we gonna do it? We got to release this little like blob kaiju thing, and he's like, oh, what's that? It's like, oh, that thing is so small. And then one of the dudes like, it'll grow, and it's like, okay, cool. Next day, Superman's at a Daily Planet. You see Lois Lane, you see Jimmy Olsen, you see the hot chick, whatever, Cat Grant with her nice boobs, and then you see the fucking boss. I forgot his name already. Terrence Howard, fat Terrence Howard looking motherfucker, and he's doing his investigation shit, and he's like, oh, I interviewed Superman, yada yada yada. And but the thing is that there's a scene I skipped. What's it called again? After that, like they I think it was either that it's that night after the Daily Planet chat. I'm all over the place, chat. But so Lois Lane goes back home. Superman's cooking, and he's like, all right, I'm cooking. So I believe this is a scene that people saw already. I didn't see this. This is my first time seeing it. And they're like, all right, cool. Can I interview Superman? He's like, yeah, sure. Can I interview him right now? And he's like, you want to interview Superman right now? It's like, yes. All right, cool. And then they sort of start arguing, right? They're talking about politics, how like Superman, you basically went to a different country without asking the president, without consulting with, what's it called again? The international law. And you did this. So how do you do that? It's like, oh, I'm trying to save people here, right? And it shows that Superman he doesn't really care about the law too much. All he wanted to do was save people. And it shows a little bit, right? That it's a very good scene between both of them, but I believe they've been dating for like 3 months or some shit like that. I'm not sure how long they've been dating, but they sort of get into an argument and Superman leaves, right? So the next day, the kaiju becomes fucking massive, and Superman goes there and he's fighting this kaiju, but like there's a bunch of people there, and the kaiju's about to step on a dog, and he goes, ah, and he saves the dog, and the dog's like just standing there. And he's like, shoo, go away, dog. Hey, dog, you go away. Hey, I'm Superman right here. I'm trying to save you. Go away, dog. The dog doesn't go away. He freaking ice breaths him. The dog fucking like slams the dog's back on the fucking like a pole or some shit. And it's just like this kaiju is way too much for Superman to handle, because he's trying to save everyone else, right? So like there's another time where like something happens and Superman saves a squirrel. And then he's like, shit, man, there's a lot of shit happening. I don't know what to do. And then the Justice Gang shows up, which is Guy Gardner, Mr. Terrific, and Hawk Girl. And I shit you not, every time Hawk Girl shows up on screen or when she's flying around, you always hear a fucking hawk scream. Like, imagine like, ah! 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 Like it's not as bad as that, but almost as bad, right? Right? Oh, it's almost as bad. And what happened is just, it's so stupid. Like she doesn't have screaming powers. All right. She just has a freaking like a mace or some shit like that. And she has her wings. That's about it. So, together with the Justice Gang and Superman, they were able to take down the, what's it called again? The kaiju. And they're like, don't kill the kaiju. Don't kill the kaiju. Try not to kill the kaiju, right? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't want to kill people. I don't want to kill things. And he's like, and then Mr. Terrific's like, fuck y'all bitches, and basically he had his like robot drones fly into the freaking kaiju stomach and blow up, and ends up killing the kaiju. And then Superman's like, oh man, and Guy Gardner's like, what? We stopped everything. You saved everyone, right? And he's like, yeah, but like what we could have done was like, maybe we could have like, brought it to like a different planet. We could study it, or euthanize it in a way where it's not like not bad. And it's like, bitch, that euthanization is, you're still killing the thing, right? While all this is happening, this diversion, Lex, Ultraman, and Mexican chick gets into the Fortress of Solitude. They go into the Fortress of Solitude, and they were able to get in is because of Ultraman is a clone of Superman, right? So that's how you get in. And then the robot's like, oh, hey, what you doing? What you doing? You don't belong here. Get out right now, okay? Before I call the doc on you. And then Lex Luthor's like, Mexican girl, get him, right? The Mexican girl comes in, her hands become blades and shit like that. She has like nanobots, nanites, whatever. That's her superpowers. And then they're able to beat all the robots. Crypto comes in, and then they're able to trap Crypto. And what's it called again? He's like, oh, there's a message from from Superman's parents, from Krypton. And you find out like sort of earlier in the movie that like the message was damaged. The message to Superman was damaged on the way here when he crash landed, and basically says, oh, we love you, son, and hope you do a good job. Make sure you get B+ in school and algebra. Make sure you don't have a lot of sexy time in high school, and make sure that you be a good person. And then it sort of chops away is because like it's fucking corrupted. And then he's like, I'm able to. So the robot girl, the Mexican robot girl, was like, oh, I can actually, yo, Holmes, I'm able to like decipher this, man. I'm able to decipher this, Holmes. It's like, oh shit, the engineer, the Mexican engineer was like, this, locos vatos, no mames ways. And he's like, what are you gonna do? It's like, oh, what I can do is like get up in there and then I can like decipher that shit, Holmes. And he's like, all right, do it. It's like, oh man, this is crazy. Like we can actually get some, get this translated and we can know exactly what they're talking about, Holmes. Cool. So after that, they leave, and then it basically goes back to the kaiju fight. And after the kaiju fight, everyone's like, oh man, Superman, you're so cool. You save everybody. This little girl is like, oh, Superman, let me touch your dick. Oh, let me suck your dick, Superman. And then he's like, no, man, you're a little girl. Get away. Right? It's because like he saves another little girl. And then while everyone's like happy with him, everyone's super excited. And then the Jumbotrons, blip, 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 blip. All of them freaking show up and then fucking starts displaying the Jor-El message. The Jor-El's like, hey everybody, my son Kal-El, he gonna be a good person. Make sure you be a good person. Don't have too much sex in high school, and then make sure everybody trusts you, and then you basically work for the humankind. But the part that was basically corrupted and didn't really work was translated. They were able to fix it. And this is what Jor-El actually says. The people there are simple and profoundly confused, weak of mind, spirit, and body, lord over the planet as the last son of Krypton. And then Laura says, dispatch of anyone unable or unwilling to serve you, Kal-El. Take as many wives as you can so your genes and Krypton's might and legacy will live on in this new frontier. Jor-El says, do us proud, our beloved son, rule without mercy. And Superman is like, oh no. Oh no. And then everyone around him, all the big fans and stuff like that of Superman, they're like, oh man, he's gonna have a harem. Oh, he's gonna have the harem jutsu. That's not good, man. This guy's gonna freaking try to impregnate everyone. He's gonna enslave everyone, rule without mercy. And basically on a switch of a dime, a drop of a dick, like everyone is against Superman. Everyone's against Superman. And yeah, so basically this was people. When I was in the theater, I was like, nah, man, no. Ain't no way that Jor-El, like the people of Krypton, are like they're acting like Viltrumites, right? They're acting like Viltrumites. They're basically acting like Zod. Right? They're acting like Zod. We're gonna rule you. We're gonna take over and stuff. But yeah, so what happens is that he flies. He's like, oh shit, they got into the freaking. That means if Lex Luthor is able to get into the Fortress of Solitude, something must have happened. Something bad must have happened. So he fucking flies back like and flies back to the Fortress of Solitude. He goes there, and number 4, which is the main Superbot, he's like, hey bro, what's happening, bro? He's like, oh man, you got the Lex Luthor, you come and you take the dog. I don't know what happened, and then I die now. And then the robot dies. He's like, shit! He gets super mad. He flies into LexCorp. Bam! Where's the dog? Where's the dog? Right? And we all saw that, right? We saw that scene, right? Like, where's the dog and stuff like that. So, he gets really, really mad, and then he's like, where's the dog, Luthor? why'd you say that name? Right? So nothing happens. Like, oh man, make sure you're recording this. And then like it basically that footage of him yelling and breaking into Lex's office was basically showed like look, this is the freaking monster you guys are loving. You thought that this guy was a good guy? Nah, man, this guy's a bad guy. Yo, this guy's evil. Don't trust him. What are you doing? Get him out, right? And then afterwards, he's like, he goes back to his apartment. He's sitting there, all sad. He's like this. Oh man, like freaking alone in the dark. Freaking like freaking nice ass like windows and shit like that, and it's a fucking like giant like octopus squid monster fucking floating around, and they're fighting. It's fucking floating around and destroying shit, and what's it called again? The Justice Gang was fighting, and he just sitting there, and then Lois is like, "Hey baby, you okay?" And he's like, "No man, he took the dog, man. Yo, it's not good, man. He took the dog." And he's like, "Oh, is that dog like family?" He's like, "No, it's not my dog. I'm just looking after the dog." It's like, then why the fuck are you so pissed off, you bitch? It's not even your dog. You don't even care about the dog. And here's the thing, the dog, fucking annoying, all right? Stupid annoying ass dog that does not fucking take orders or commands from humans, does not take orders or commands from Superman. Fucking misbehaved dog that should be turned into chop suey. All right, he's like, "You're okay?" He's like, "Man, I don't know. It's not my dog, but I don't know what my dog." And he's like, "It's okay. It's okay. Hey, remember the other night we got in a fight?" He's like, Yeah. It's not good, huh?" It's like, "Yeah, maybe like we're just too different, like maybe I'm like punk rock and you're not punk rock enough." He's like, "What are you talking about? I'm punk rock too, man. I am punk rock, your shit." And then he's like, "Oh, look, Superman, you look mad. Here's a couple Cocos." He's like, "Man, the Coco's so good." And then it was actually not as terrible as I'm making it out to be. It's actually a pretty good scene between Lois and Clark. And the entire time they were having this conversation, the fucking giant monsters in the back fucking destroying shit. And then Lois is like, "Aren't you going to help them?" He's like, "Nah, they got this." Huh? Bro, you're Superman. Go out there and save that shit, man. What are you doing? Go out there and do something. And then he's like, "Nah, man, they got it." He's like, "Oh man." So at the end, he's like, "Yo," it's like, "Look," and then Clark Kent's like, "Yo, I like punk rock too, man. Look, I like these fucking Crab Hammer or whatever bullshit band. I forgot what it's called. I completely forgot what the band is called." It's like, maybe I just like, maybe you just can't save everyone, because you're, punk rock, you can't save it. It's like, maybe I'm the new punk rock because maybe like I can save everyone. Maybe I should be able to save everyone or something. Basically, they have a pretty like good talk, completely ruined by the fight in the back. And they hug each other and they're like, "All right, man." And Superman's like, "Hey, I love you, baby." And she's like, "Oh, you say I love you?" And he's like, "Oh, that means a lot." And he's like, "I'm gonna turn myself in tomorrow." "Wait, what?" It's like, the DOJ has a they have a arrest for me. He's like, "All right, cool." Next day, fucking Ultraman that looks like Black Noir, that's not Black Noir, right? I'll bring it up really quick. This guy over here, this guy in the black, right? He looks like Black Noir, not Black Noir, right? And you have Crossbones over here, from what's it called again? MCU, right? So he basically arrests them, and he's like, "Hey, are you gonna read me my rights?" And he's like, "Oh man, you are what's it called? An immigrant here, right?" I believe he says like, you're like an immigrant, you're an alien, so you technically don't have rights, which is stupid because he actually was adopted by Martha and what's it called, John Kent. So he goes inside, and what's it called again? I believe Lex takes him to like a freaking like a camp, and they put him into this pocket dimension. They put him in a pocket realm or whatever, right? Prison pocket, whatever. So goes in a prison pocket, and he's like, "What is this?" Like, "Oh, I made this like prison pocket, pocket dimension kind of thing." and you know, and you know, we're gonna put you here. Goes inside. The mutant monkeys are in this. The freaking mutant monkeys. Basically hashtag super shit. Oh, speaking of hashtag super shit. During the first conversation between Superman and Lois, like when he's being interviewed. So they think, like Lois says, oh, they think that you're not you're a spy, you know, and it looks like you're getting sort of flustered with all of these online social media content kind of thing, right? And he was like, no, it doesn't bother me. So you're saying hashtag super spy doesn't bother you? It's like, no, it doesn't bother me at all. Hashtag super shit. You know that bothers me. It's like, so you clearly know, like you find out that, like, you know, the monkeys are real, and this hashtag super shit was all done by these crazy mutant monkeys. And then you have it shows everything that Lex puts there, right, in his basically pocket dimension. So his pocket dimension, he goes inside, it's like his ex-girlfriend's there because he wrote like an expose on Lex he didn't like. You see, what's it called again? Metamorpho's in there, and you see a bunch of other dudes in there, right? They're all in this like glass prison box. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna put you in a box with Metamorpho. He's like, all right, cool. And then, you know, Metamorpho, if you didn't know, can metamorph into any type of what's it called again? Material or substance, right? And then his hand turns into kryptonite. He's going kryptonite, and then he basically gets fucked up, right? And during this whole entire time, he's like, everyone's like, where's Superman? Where's Superman? Where's Superman go? You know, what's going on? What's going on? What's happening? So Lois is like, I'm gonna go to the Hall of Justice, which is where Guy Gardner, Hawk Girl, and Mr. Terrific is, right? He goes there. He's like, hey, we gotta help Superman, and Superman is stuck in a prison pocket or some shit like that, right? We don't know where he is. We need your help. They're like, nah, I'm not gonna help you. Guy Gardner's like, nah, fuck you, I'm not gonna help you. And it's like, oh, but you know, it's, you know, he's your friend, isn't he? He's like, not really. We're like, you know, we don't really care for him, but like, isn't this like, he's captured and stuff, like he's disappeared. He's like, who got him? He's like, the government. It's like, we don't do politics here. We didn't do any politics here. Go away, right? And then what happened was, after she leaves, Mr. Terrific's like, I will help you. He's like, all right, cool. And then they do this stupid joke where it's like, the garage door to his spaceship opens like fucking, it takes like a minute to open, which takes forever. And then they fly, and it's like, all right, I actually know where he is. So where last time we saw him, it's like, what? Yeah, I actually had nanites put into people's bloods, like it's like, what? You did? He's like, yeah, I do it to everyone. Like, oh, okay. So you and Superman are dating, right? Like, yeah. He's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I don't really care about that. And like, I'm paraphrasing here. And then so she starts like talking about how like her and Superman started getting into an argument and shit like that. And she was like, man, you know, Superman, he's saying this, I'm doing that, I'm trying to do this. And he's like, bitch, shut the fuck up, I don't care. Now, they show up to the beach where Superman was last seen, and a bunch of what's it called again? Lex Luthor's goons are there. And this is the best fight in the entire movie. They go over there, and it's like, oh, please vacate the premise. You do not belong here. You got 20 seconds to comply. And he's like, N-word, please. And then he freaking like drops like a freaking like protect his force field over Lois, and he like brings out all of his bots, and he fucks all of them. Like he literally like fucking skull fucks all of them, beats the shit out of them on the beach, and like all of them basically gets murked. Well, they didn't get murked. They basically get their ass beat by Mrs. Terrific, right? And it's a really cool scene. This is probably the best scene in the entire movie. A lot of cool shit. Like he goes in and out with his tech. He's like, man, Mrs. Terrific is fucking badass. And after the entire fight goes down, she goes, holy shit, I creamed my pants. I'm fucking wet right now. I'm Juicy Smoulier down in the South, right? And then he's like, yeah, bitch, you want to see my dick? And then afterwards, they go into the tent, and it's like, oh, damn. Lex Luthor make this pocket dimension shit. Man, he's crazy, because this could have ripped a freaking tear in the fabric of reality because of the black hole. let's go inside. He hacks the system with his bots, goes inside, and what's it called again? Shit. I think during this time, like he did basically the whole hacking thing. Lex shows up. He shows up with this like freaking Indian dude, and he's like, Superman, are you okay? Superman, no, don't give up. Don't say anything. I would help you. Don't worry. And the reason why like this Indian dude was there is because this Indian dude was seen helping Superman one time or one or twice, and he offered him a falafel or some shit like that. Superman, you want my falafel? I can give it to you in your mouth, right? And he's like, Lex is like, do you know this guy? He's like, I've seen this guy once, maybe twice. He's like, all right, what's it called? Who are your parents? Who raised you? And he's like, Superman, don't tell him anything. Don't do it. Don't stop it. Do not redeem. Do not redeem. Why you redeem? Right? And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna play Russian roulette. Click. And he's like, who are your parents? He's like, don't say anything, Superman. I love you. I want to suck your dick. Click. Oh man, didn't go off, man. We're gonna do it again. Click. And he's like, say, Superman, I love you. I want to suck your super dick. Boom. Lex Luthor's like, oh, I didn't know I was gonna kill him off that quick. All right. Well, we gotta find another person then. And then he's like, oh, I wonder who that guy that interviews you all the time. Clark Kent. Let me go find Clark Kent. Right? He goes over there. Metamorpho is like, he killed the guy in front of me. Oh man, I'm so sad. He fucking starts weeping like, fucking starts weeping like a fucking pussy, man. Superman starts crying a little bit is because, you know, someone died in front of him. And then he's like, hey, Metamorpho, that's sad, right? He's like, yeah, man, that's fucking sad, bro. I'm a random Indian dude that smells fucking died. I don't know what to do, man. And he's like, yo, you in here because the reason why you're doing this is because your green baby's over there, right? Yo, yeah, that's my son, green baby over there, man. That's my son, yeah. Me and him are tight. And then he's like, but you know, that's that guy over there that basically has like a knife to my my son's throat. He's like, yo, man, you can't let Lex Luthor get you like that, man. He's like, yeah, you're right. It's like, all right, cool. I stopped with kryptonite. He's like, hey, why I still look like a fucking ball sack? Why I still look like a fucking scrotum? He's like, I need to heal. I need a yellow sun. He's like, all right, dick suck, ass suck. With your powers combined, here's the yellow sun. Boom, he makes the yellow sun out of fucking thin air because he's Metamorpho. And then he fucking breaks out of the glass, flies over, punches that guy's dick, and grabs the green baby. He's like, I got the green baby. Let's go, let's get out of here. And then while that happens, fucking the guards come and shit like that. Fucking crazy CGI Palooza, fucking crazy. While Superman's trying to hold up the green baby and shit. And then a Metamorpho's like, I can't. When I'm flying around in my metamorphosis form, I can't hold the baby. All right. He's like, all right, cool. So they fly out and shit like that, and they get ambushed. At the same time, Lois and Mrs. Terrific breaks inside. And like, we gotta find Superman. Yeah, we gotta find him. Yeah, and then they find him. All of them escape, and then it's like, oh, Metamorpho's like, oh, you saved my son. You saved my son. I suck your dick, man. He's like, no, man, we don't do that. I don't suck alien dick. All right, that's gay. I don't do that. I like white pussy. Right. So then afterwards, they leave, and they're like, man, this is crazy. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Right? And this is like halfway through the movie. This is halfway through the movie. So afterwards, Superman basically like fucking like barely hanging on is because like he got fucked up so hard, right? So I believe okay, I'm trying to see exactly which scene am I thinking about right now. Okay, so basically he gets fucked up so hard, and I believe he needs to like recover or some shit like that. So Mr. Terrific's like, okay, you can use my fucking space saucer spaceship and get into safety, right? And they go to what's it called again? Kent Farm. So I forgot about this to tell you. but they sort of made Ma and Pa Kent sort of retarded. They sort of made them retarded, right? And like it's like in the beginning of the movie, it's like Martha Kent was talking to Superman, and she was like, "Hey Kent, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm doing good, Mom." He's like, "What was that? Who's that? Why you talk like that? Hello?" It's like it's sort of like they're not really that smart. So when they show up, Lois brings Superman, and his parents bring Superman into his childhood bed, right? And then he's like, my son injured. Oh. And he's like, will he be okay? And Lois is like, yeah, he'll be fine. All right, cool. So she turns around and looks at it, like, wow, this is where you grew up, huh? This is really cool. I wish we got a little bit more of that. I wish they would expound on that. They would let that look like she would go through like his like freaking a childhood photo album. Like she would go through and look at like some of the stuff that he drew on like the refrigerator. That would be really, really cool, but they didn't do that. All right. Next day, it's like, all right, I need to get back to fucking what's it called again? Fucking Metropolis. Is because Jimmy Olsen is a ladies' man, and the hot girl that was with what's it called again, with Lex Luthor, like, you know, she's like taking a selfie and shit like that. She's like head over heels over Jimmy Olsen, and Jimmy Olsen's supposed to be some kind of playboy, like super hot dude or some shit like that. And Lex Luthor's like girlfriend is like very, very into him. Like everyone is like literally like instantly just fucking squirts when they see Jimmy Olsen, right? So Jimmy Olsen was able to know exactly what's going on and the plans that Lex is doing to sort of like what's happening internationally, right? So basically you have a rich country basically trying to take over a poor country. Whether or not you think that's Israel, Palestine, whether or not you think that's Russia, Ukraine, it doesn't matter, right? You basically have a bunch of rich, white-looking dudes that sound sort of, you know, Jewish or speaks Hebrew or whatever, and basically taking over a bunch of dark dudes, right, that lives in the desert. So we find out that the reason why he's doing that is because they were going to give a piece of the land to Luthor, and Luthor is going to become king there. He's going to he's basically going to own his entire like country that's going to be after Luthor. They find that shit out, and he's like, oh shit, we got to write all this shit on it, right? We got to write all this shit on it. And then at this time, Superman, he wakes up and he's like, oh man, I feel a lot better. He goes out and he's like eating like cereal or like freaking I don't know, like on the porch. He's like eating oatmeal, you know, like and this is the serious part, the cool part. But here's the thing: we've seen this in the trailers, we've seen this in clips. Paul K like, son, everything all right? And he's like, yeah, Dad. Like, you know, my birth parents, like, they say that like I'm gonna be a good guy. I'm here to serve like the Earthlings, y'all. So what am I supposed to do? Because like they said, like I heard the entire like thing, you know, like they said that, you know, it's not that's not who I am. You know, what am I supposed to do? You know, like they say all this shit about like, you know, me making like super babies with like fine ass bitches and hoes and shit. And but you know, that's not me, yo. That's not me. And the dad's like, it's more about your character and not about your you know who you're. It's about the actions you do, and yeah, bro. And he's like, man, you're smart, old man. And then they have like they do a hug and stuff like that. And then fucking John Kent starts crying. He's like, I love you, son. It's man, I want to suck your dick, but that's gay. And then Martha Kent comes out and is like, yo, you why y'all being mush, bitch? Shut the fuck up. Something on in the box, bro. And then he's like, oh, it's like and they both go inside. What they should have done, like they should have given us like another like 20-30 seconds of actual like dialogue between both of them, because that's like a very key and crucial moment that we got with John, Papa Kent and Clark, right? But immediately gets cut short by Martha. Yo, bitches, get inside and look at the TV, right? Why still making fun of Southern folk? I'm making fun of the movie, right? So what happened was, so like, you find out that like Clark, they're gonna cause a war between, is it Baravia and the other company, the other country, right? So the groups with the tanks and the military and all that shit that the Lex Luthor actually provided a bunch of money to that country. They're basically going to invade that country, and all shit's about to go down. But what happened was that while trying to basically get open the fucking prison pocket up, he fucking causes the fucking tear in the fucking prison pocket, and it's basically fucking shit up in real life. So Superman's like, I gotta go, bitches, see ya. Fucking leaves, and he's like, he goes to Smallville, and he basically trying to stop everything, and he basically gets his ass beat by the engineer and Ultraman again. He basically gets Jar Hanpur, yeah, that's what it's called. So he starts getting his ass beat again. Now here's the thing, not once in this movie have I seen Superman actually do cool shit like beating people up. However, there are several key moments. One of them is like the fucking the ripple, the fucking fracture or whatever shit caused like the entire metropolis to fucking go down. The crazy thing is, right before this shit went down, they're like, all right, cool. The millions of people that lives and hangs out in Metropolis, you need to evacuate. And all of them evacuate within like 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, they're out, right? So then they're like, oh shit, the fracture isn't stopping. So this car was like basically like, I guess like stuck or some shit like that, and the building was falling down. It's like, Superman's like, go, get out of here, bitch. She's like, okay. She fucking drives, and then the building falls down, and Superman floats up, and you see Superman just like floating there with the rubble and the smoke and shit like that, and it looks cool, but you get like 3 seconds of that. You get like 3 seconds of that, which is stupid. We need like more of this. Like the movie felt like it needed to be like 10 to 15 minutes longer, right? Just as long as the prison pocket doesn't evacuate. So speaking of that, Superman gets his ass beat multiple times. Mr. Terrific and Lois basically hangs out in Metropolis. So while all the shit's going down, Mr. Terrific is trying to like help everyone and save everyone, and like making sure like people don't die and shit, like helping out with the buildings and stuff. Lois, and it's like, okay, we found exactly what Lex Luthor was gonna do. He was actually going to do all this shit, and how Jimmy Olsen was able to acquire all this information is from Lex Luthor's hot girlfriend, but it's through a bunch of selfies she took. So if she took a selfie, like in the back, there's like a bunch of like confidential information, and they pieced that shit together, and they wrote all that thing on a laptop, right? They're writing that shit. This is all happening while like shit's going down in Metropolis, right? And then while fighting Superman, I believe Ultraman's mask gets ripped off. He's like, why do you look like me? And then he's like, oh yeah, so I actually got like a sample of your hair, and I was able to create like this version of you that I could completely control, which is Ultraman, right? But the thing is that like this guy like does not talk. He looks like David Cornsway. He looks like Superman with longer hair, and it sort of felt like he could have been like Bizarro, and like it feels like they basically took two characters and like sandwiched them into one, which is this character, because Ultraman does not talk. Ultraman is stupid, and in order for him to actually fight and do shit, like Lex Luthor and his goons need to control him. So he fights. They actually fall up. Him and Ultraman fall into the fucking rip, the fucking fracture. He falls inside the fucking black hole area, and they fight each other. And he basically, in a way, inadvertently kills him. So he basically, Superman kills Ultraman in this movie. And that moment was cut short by him being scared or anything like that or whatever. And because Mr. Fantastic is like, hey man, what are you doing down there, man? He's like, I'm trying to save people, bitch. Shut up. So afterwards, the whole thing in Baravia, shit's happening. You know, the fucking military is taking over. The fucking brown people are trying to hold up a Superman flag. Superman doesn't show up. He's like, what you're gonna do about Baravia, Superman? You can't save everyone. He's like, don't worry, I made a phone call. And he's like, huh? And then Guy Gardner, fucking and Hawk Girl shows up, and basically they save everyone, right? And then basically Superman ruins and foils Lex Luthor's plan, and he starts crying and quivering. And the reason why he starts crying and quivering is because the Daily Planet and Lois Lane and everyone was able to get that information that Lex Luthor was a bad guy to all the news outlets. All the news outlets, right? So the entire news outlet was like, yo, remember Lex Luthor? Yeah, he a bad guy. Yeah, he not good. Yeah, he bad, bro. So he's super bad. And he's like, huh? And then he's like, and then Lex Luthor fucking starts crying. Lex Luthor immediately starts crying. Like every dude in this movie fucking cries. Superman cries. Fucking Paul Kent cries. Lex Luthor cries. Freaking Metamorpho cries. Like what the hell, man? I thought this movie was supposed to be about like the hope and shit. Why you guys we got fucking emasculated pussy ass shit here? So he starts crying, and he's like, it's like, I'm human. You're not. I'm here. Nobody likes you. And then Superman's like, shut your bald ass mouth, bitch. I'm human. I put my dick in my pants one leg at a time, just like you. Man, I people yell at me and I cry. And I'm human just like you. I get angry just like you. You know, we're not so different, you and me. And it's like a sort of like a pretty good Superman speech. And then immediately Crypto fucking jumps in and bites the shit out of like fucking Luthor, right? Now here's the thing. I didn't tell you guys how many times that Crypto fucking jumps in and does a bunch of stupid shit. There are several times where like this dog is just fucking annoying. I'm like, bitch, can we just like get rid of the dog? Can we just like fucking stop, man? It's like, this is stupid, bro. So you have a very cool Superman speech, cut short, because James Gunn can't stop being James Gunn. And Lex gets arrested, and what's it called? The fracture sort of reverts. Everything is a-okay now. And then they're like, yeah, we cool, cuh. Yeah, we cut, yeah, cool, yeah. And then at the end, Lois comes down, and then Superman comes down, and he's like, hey, can I do that interview? He's like, yeah, sure. And they go into like an abandoned building, and they start like macking out, right? They start like kissing, and he floats up, and then like she's with them. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty iconic like Superman scene. And then I forgot his name, Terrence Howard, Fat Terrence Howard, the freaking the owner of or the, you know, the editor in chief of the Daily Planet. He's like, how long they been dating? And then Jimmy Olsen's like 3 months. He's like, okay. So yeah. So then Superman, the next scene is Superman's back at the Fortress of Solitude, and he's sitting in his chair. He's about to soak in the sun. He's about to have his yellow shower, and you hear a boom. And he's like, what the fuck is that? And then they're like, oh, it seems like your cousin is back. And then you see Supergirl. Supergirl comes in, fucking hammered, fucking drunk as fuck. Now the girl who plays her, forgot her name. She does young Rhaenyra. I think she plays a very good. She looks the part as I think her name is Kara Zor-El, which is what's it called again? Supergirl. And then basically you find out like Crypto's owner is Supergirl, and she allows him to be a bad dog, right? She allows him to be a very bad dog. So she gets tackled by Crypto. freaking pounds her fucking shirt on the ground, and then there's like the floor starts breaking, and she's like all happy, and Superman's like, yeah, she basically goes to other planets and gets drunk, and yeah, it's you know, like, you know, she goes to another, you know, universe or galaxy or whatever bullshit, and whereas there's a red sun so she can get drunk. It's because, you know, we can't get drunk in the yellow sun. It was like, bitch, she flew back to like the Milky Way galaxy where with the yellow sun, so she could probably should have you know, sobered up by now, right? Yeah. And then afterwards, like, all right, see ya, bitch. Like, she literally says see ya, bitch, and calls him a bitch and leaves. And then he's like, all right, cool, I'm gonna sit down on my yellow shower, fucking golden shower chair, and then play me something that makes me happy, or play me something that makes me you know, have a raging boner, right? And basically a bunch of like images of him and his parents start surfacing, right? Because it makes him happy, it relaxes him and shit like that. And basically the movie ends. All right, basically ends. It's not like, of course, like the reason why I'm shitting on this is because there's a lot of things that this movie did wrong. There's only something that this movie did right. And all joking aside, I think that this movie could have been really good. I had decent hopes, not high hopes, a decent hope for this, that hopefully James Gunn does not let his James Gunn-ness get in the way. And hopefully this movie, there's some goofy stuff, but overall you get enough time for some serious shit to happen, right? But no, I think that James Gunn didn't trust in himself. James Gunn did not trust that he's able to make a good Superman movie. Is because what he could have done and what he should have done was made a Superman movie with just Superman, Lois Lane. You have like a singular bad guy, or maybe two singular bad guys. Do not introduce any other superheroes. Maybe just mention them briefly, but that's about it. And then you get what's it called again? You get a good movie. But the thing is, I believe James Gunn is better suited for like big ensemble type of movies. Like, you have like a big cast, right? Like he's good with making a Justice Gang movie. I think Justice Gang would have been a really good movie for him, is because you have three cool characters, right? Completely different personalities, and you could have made something about it. But he let a lot of people down. A lot of people didn't like this movie, but a lot of people didn't like this movie. If you go to critic list, last time I checked, this movie was like a 51 or 52%. It wasn't great. But the thing is that the acting and the cast, like, let's talk about the cast. The cast was good. I think David Corenswet could have a lot of potential, to be a very good Superman. The CGI wasn't too bad. I think the only time that CGI was really, really bad, it was like CGI slop, was when they're in the pocket dimension. I think Hawk Girl was extremely underutilized and very, very stupid. I think that it's like the girl that plays her is hot too, I believe. But yeah, another thing is that the Jor-El message, you basically made Jor-El a fucking villain. You made like legit Kryptonians, like all of them are bad guys, right? It's because you have Ma and Pa Kent that are sort of dumb, right? They're not smart. They're like, the thing is, like, those are the people that raised Superman. Those are the people that raised them. And it's like, I don't see it, bro. I don't see it. So basically your biological parents, the message they gave you was good, right? So the first part of the message was really good, but now you change the lore. You change the fucking backstory of Jor-El and Lara. So now you have them being like fucking assholes, fucking Viltrumite, go over there and fucking spread your seed, show no mercy. Like, that's what the fuck? So like, there ain't no way that like Paul Kent and Martha Kent was able to raise you like this, is because they're like dumb as fuck. So the thing is, they shouldn't have done that either, is because they couldn't back it up by like, oh, he actually was, you know, he's actually brought up this way because of his Kryptonian parents, right? So that was really bad. I did not like that at all. I think Krypto, the reason why people will like this movie is because kids will like this movie, and women and girls, most of them will probably like this movie. I think that I think that's a major mistake. And some people are saying that, well, the next major movie that's coming out from DC is going to be Supergirl. So they're going to fix the whole like Jor-El and Lara message, right? The thing is, if you don't make that movie and explain it, and this is the only movie by itself, and let's talk about just talking about this movie as a standalone, not an extended universe. That's what we got. That Jor-El and Lara was terrible people, right? Was terrible people. Now, coming out of the theaters, I did see several kids wearing Superman shirts. I think that's cool. And for me, this movie was a letdown because I wanted this movie to be good, so the rest of the DC U stuff is going to be good, right? And I believe they said that they're going to be releasing like 2 movies a year. 2 movies a year, several TV shows, and a couple of animated shows, right? So that's a lot of homework. And here's the thing, James Gunn said that they're going to tie in everything together. So that's a lot of homework that I don't want to do. So hopefully, you know, like I don't have to do that. But I think this movie, as of right now, is looking to hit like 150 to 200 million dollars, which is okay, which is not a lot. It's because Jurassic World made over 300 million. And if this movie has legs and a good word of mouth, it can break that. But I as of right now, like, I don't like this movie. I think that Man of Steel is better than this movie. I think Batman versus Superman is better than this movie. In terms of enjoyment, it's because this movie overall was very mid. There aren't like if you're asking me what's your favorite Superman scene, or what's your favorite scene from this movie? My favorite scene in this movie was the Mr. Terrific scene, but I don't need to see it again. The score, the soundtrack in this movie was not great. I think the times when they had the John Williams, like, I guess, like jingle or like an homage theme song to it, I guess it's okay. Sometimes they sort of feel out of place, but this song, the songs and the music that they had in this movie weren't great. Now, if you're talking about Man of Steel Flight is fucking amazing. It still holds. I watched it yesterday with Epicverse. It's still really, really good. I think that this movie could have had very, very good like legs and potential for it to be an amazing or a pretty damn good movie, right? I think James Gunn shouldn't have been the one to direct this movie. I think James Gunn should have been the one to write this movie. It should have been someone else. He should have been like executive producer or a producer on it, and that's about it. He didn't need to be a part of it, is because I think he's good. He's better with like group movies. Justice Gang would have been really good. I think now here's the thing. If Guy Gardner is getting a TV show, right? But let's say if it got a movie and James Gunn was gonna direct it, it's gonna feel like Guardians, and Guardians is great. Nathan Fillion killed it as Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner was great. Everything was cool. Like Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific. Mr. Terrific was a standout. Fucking good. Stoic, badass, and funny at times. And the cool things that Mr. Terrific did, Superman should have gotten something like that, but he didn't. He didn't get something like that. The coolest thing was like when he did the heat vision, he went like 360. That thing happened so fast. Everything was just like, all right, cool, boom, done. Scene, all right, cool, done. It's so zippy, it's so quick. It felt like you're watching Coco Melon, right? You're watching Crackle Melon, and it's you can literally tell that this movie was made for Zoomers. It was made for younger kids that have low attention span, right? They can't sit there and like I'm not saying that kids can't have like, you know, a good attention span, but a lot of kids right now are like on TikTok, like on you know, watching shit like for like 2 seconds and switching it up. So I think this is for them. Now, there was several criticism online that people are saying that in order for you to enjoy this, you need to go in with low expectations. You need to go in with you shut off your brain. You need to go in not comparing it. You need to go in with a younger mentality. You need to go in that, remember, this movie is made for kids. Like, yes, I know this movie is made for adolescent teenagers. I know this movie is PG-13. So yes, I know that But the thing is, let's say you're talking about little kids, 10-year-old, 9-year-olds, 8-year-olds, right? I'm not saying that you can't watch this type of movie if you're that, right? This movie doesn't have any nudity or sex or anything like that, right? No F words, nothing like that. So, but have you guys seen like very good Disney movies? Like Moana, Coco, even Frozen, like a lot of very good Disney movies, like Incredibles, like Finding Nemo. All of those, these are all Disney stuff. All of them were made for little kids, but it was enjoyable to the kids, and they also had some stuff in there for the adults, right? Like Incredibles, absolutely a 10 out of 10 movie. It's so good. Incredibles 1, amazing. Superhero, hot mom, like the characters were great. Superpower, the best Fantastic Four movie we've ever gotten, right? But that was a kids movie, and I enjoyed that. Oh, this movie's for kids. I didn't enjoy this movie. I look, yo, American Ninja, thank you so much for the raid, man. Thank you, dude. But yeah, like I think this movie, it's very mid and it's very forgettable, right? And I don't want that. I don't like, imagine walking out of a Superman movie and you're like, man, it's all right, right? And you can't help but compare it to the most recent Superman thing that we got, which is Man of Steel. So Man of Steel is better than this movie. Man of Steel had memorable moments. The fight scenes felt good. Yeah, Mulan in the 90s was great, absolutely. And it's a girl, you know, it's the main character's a girl, you know? So, was this movie woke? Another question that people ask. No, this movie was not woke. This movie was mid. It had no woke moments. I think that the what's it called again? A lot of the core like characters, what's it called again? Being being crying and being sissy girls, freaking pansy boys or whatever. Like it's not a good start. However, I think this movie is going to make a good amount of money because I think this movie is good enough. I think it's not good enough for me, but it's good enough for your normies. I think kids will like it. I think people who are super normies will like it. Here's the thing. We haven't got a great Superman in a very, very long time, right? I would say Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel. There are a lot of issues I didn't like about it. There's a lot of things I did not like about it, but overall, I enjoyed that movie. The movie was actually really good. But according to, like, let's say universal consensus, the last good Superman movie was Richard Donner's, Dick Donner's Superman. Those were the pinnacle. Those were the best Superman movies. Superman 78, Superman 2, Superman 3, maybe Superman 4. Maybe some of you guys like Superman 4, right? But the last time we got Superman, a good Superman, was with Christopher Reeve. So the bar is set really, really low. So anything that's mildly better than the dark, brooding, grim, moody version of Man of Steel that a lot of people that I know didn't like, whatever is slightly above that, they'll eat it up, right? It's the same thing with Thunderbolts. The reason why people like Thunderbolts so much is because a lot of things that came out of the MCU sucked up until that point, right? I'm not talking about what's it called again? Spider-Man. I'm not talking about Deadpool, Wolverine. I'm just strictly talking about MCU core, right? So yeah, Thunderbolts. That movie was. I think that movie was mid. I think that movie is like a 6 out of 10. I think it's aight, right? But the reason why people say that it's good is because everything that came before it sucked. It's been sucking so much. Smallville's a TV show, right? I'm talking about movie buzz. Yeah, Smallville's really good. Michael Rosenbaum is absolutely my favorite. What's it called again? Lex Luthor. I think he plays an amazing Lex Luthor. So when it comes down to this Superman, I think the Superman will be just good enough. I think this movie will just be just good enough for the fans to be like, all right, cool, right? What's next? But if this movie is just good enough, I think that the next movie is Supergirl. I think we're gonna have, it might be a little bit worse, right? Because Supergirl is younger. She's in like fucking college. She's like early college. She's like 21, 22 years old, probably in terms of like her stature. And it's going to be like college humor. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that, right? Yes, she is younger, but I'm not sure, right? So, man, like overall, like I gave this movie on critic list, like I gave it a 42% out of 100. Like I would say if I'm going to round it up, I'll give it like a 4.5 out of 10. There are a lot of cool moments that would have been elevated if James Gunn let this movie cook. I think James Gunn needed to not get in his own way so we can actually have time with important moments. This movie does feel like MCU comedy. It feels like something that I've seen from the CW, and it does feel sort of like, you know, Shazam. You know, it does feel sort of like Shazam comedy. And the fact that Tyrone Magnus said that this movie has some, you know, in terms of how Crypto was, some feels of Thor Love and Thunder, that's saying a lot. And it's not great. But do I think this movie is going to do well? I think this movie is going to do well. I think this movie, despite what I think, despite what everyone else thinks, I think this movie is going to do well enough. I think Superman is a big enough icon for this movie to do well. Now, I want this to be DC's Captain America. Okay? I want this movie to be, I want Superman to be DC's Captain America. The first movie was aight to good. Second movie, fucking masterpiece. Third movie, fucking amazing. Fourth movie, dog shit, right? Because it's not a Chris Evans anymore. But I think that's what they should do. The trilogy for Superman, the first one is pretty good, okay to pretty good, right? Second one, fucking amazing. Third one, fucking amazing. That's how I want it to be. Like Captain America, at least the first three, right? I heard 20 minutes got cut from it. Yes, the reason why there's 20 minutes that was cut from this is because there was a lot of silly stuff that they didn't want. But yes, that was a long ramble. That was my review of Superman 2025. I am in no hurry to go watch this movie again. I probably will not watch this movie again unless it's on the background or something like that. I think that David Cornsweet does look and feel like Superman at times. He does feel a little bit like Clark Kent at times. But I think that James Gunn really, really does not need to be a part of Superman anymore other than being a producer, right? He just needs to be a some kind of like person in the back, all right? Making sure that everything comes together. And I think Lois Lane, I think Rachel Brosnahan did a really good job. And I think that Nicholas Hoult does a decent job. I think I just hope that the next time we see Superman, it's a lot better and well written. Given the fact, yes, it's just James Gunn needs to stop being James Gunn. He needs to stop, let someone else take the reins. Hopefully, they can make a better Superman. And we'll see what happens. The next one, I believe we're gonna get Peacemaker or some shit like that for TV show, and then we're gonna get Supergirl. But we'll see what's gonna happen. I'm not sure. Yeah, Captain America First Avenger is underrated. Captain America, Superman should feel like Captain America. Superman is the DC version of Captain America, or vice versa, right? Whenever I think about Boy Scout, a goody two shoe, always doing the right thing, I think of Captain America and I think of Superman, and that's what I wanted. Did I get my son a crypto plushie? No. I went to a Cinemark and I don't think they had it there. But yeah, I just hope that we get a good Superman in the future. I think that's all I can hope for, and I just want the next movies to do well. It's because my favorite superhero is Batman, and imagine watching a Batman. Right, you go inside, and then the Batman fucking movie starts, and you hear, "When I was a young boy, my father took me into the city." It's like, no, man, stop. We don't need like actual singing in Batman. We didn't need actual singing in Superman either. All right, and that's why the music for Man of Steel was really good, and the score and the music for The Batman with Robert Pattinson was good. It had its own character, all right? So that's the reason I want this to do good. is because if this does well, I get a Batman movie that's a part of a bigger universe. I want Batman, all right? I want a good Batman. I want a good Flash movie. I want a good Green Lantern movie. We're going to get Lobo. We're going to get freaking Jason Momoa Lobo and Supergirl. I want those shit to be good. All right? We got singing in Star Trek. Yeah, we did. But yeah, that's my review. I know it's freaking long, but like for me, like I basically went through like whatever I can remember, and it's like heavily spoiled, but I just hope that James Gunn does not get himself involved with Superman. Let someone else take the reins, work on something else, do a fucking like weird like movie. Like I think Suicide Squad was okay. I'm talking about the one that James Gunn did. That I think that was okay. You know, I think Peacemaker was great. I think what's it called again? Like he works great with like ensemble groups. I think that that's the reason why the Lantern Corps with Guy Gardner could be really cool for James Gunn. But yes, I just want the DCU to be good is because I want a good Batman. I want a good Flash. I love those two characters. That's it. It's that simple. Just give me good stuff. So simple. Even a mutant monkey could type super shit into the internet and to cancel the Superman. Man, I don't get hype with Jason Momoa as Lobo. I don't get because he looks like him. I think that's the only reason why. Because he looks like him.